What's up, guys? I'm Crystal Lee Naomi, aka Jasmine Borders on Tyler Perry's Sisters. Be sure to subscribe to the Haves and the Have-Nots review for not only reviews on the Haves and the Have-Nots, but also on Sistas. And while you're at it, give your girl a follow on Instagram at Crystal Lee Naomi. And I'll see you every Wednesday at 9, only on BET.
All right, Sisters fans, let's go ahead and get this video stats up. Hit like, let's try to get to 45 likes. Hit the bell icon and select all. That way you allow all notifications to come through when I post content to the channel. Hit subscribe in order to help me reach 150,000 by the end of the year. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Now, I think I've discussed this in the live stream, the episode review, and to an extent, like the trailer breakdown for this week's episode. It's all about pacing, and it's pretty much discussing Sabrina and the fact that she was sent home by her boss, who didn't fully answer whether or not she was fired. But in any case, long story short, we know that the wire transfer, because remember, Andi gave, oh, sorry, popped my ankle there. Andi gave her bank information to an unknown source. I believe Gary said it was his accountant or something, and they transferred some money. The next thing you know, they pretty much took all of Andi's money. But overall, there's a situation where Andi is in a compromising position. And Sabrina, knowing Andi, just approved the transfer without going through the proper protocol, aka order operations, if you will, to check all the IDs of everyone involved in the transfer. Instead, oh, it was my friend, so I just approved it. Now the FBI wants to talk with Sabrina, and it's put the bank in a compromising position, so she's sent home. Now, even though it's not funny, the situation that Sabrina's in, one of the people on the live stream last week pointed this out. I can't believe I didn't think of it. Sabrina got sent home, and she was the only one at a window in the bank. Now, given that Sabrina was on the phone with, like, I think it was first it was Andi and Karen and then Danny. It was her, oh my God, my boss is here, I can't be on the phone. So I'm guessing that the work day had already started, which again makes sense, because I know, well, back in the day when you could just walk into a bank. Now I don't know really how the protocol is now. Like I think some banks, there was a point where I heard you had to set an appointment to come in. I don't know if banks allow people to come in, with mask, of course. I honestly don't know. I have not physically stepped into a bank in Lord knows how long. It's been forever. So I honestly do not know. All I know is any transactions I've had over the past 4 to 6 months have taken place through the bank drive-through window, and that was it. So let's just say theoretically, COVID is not something that exists in Sistas at the moment, even though technically they filmed season 2 during the pandemic. But long story short, I'm sorry to be rambling there, but I felt I need to explain. Typically, when it's early morning at the bank, there might be 1 or 2 people at the window, where you might have a couple people who are in their offices, and that's about it. So you could possibly make the argument, well, Jeremy, even though Sabrina got sent home, there could have been somebody else working who was in the office. Now they're going to come up to the front. That's a possibility. But there hasn't been too many people who worked at the bank aside from more recent Sabrina. So I thought it was hilarious that Sabrina gets sent home and now there's nobody at the window. Imagine if it was the DMV where there's only one person at the front and then they get sent home. What are you going to do then? I mean, honestly, another good example, and this is the last one, I know this video is all over the place, is I think Dollar Tree is probably the best example, where if you go to Dollar Tree like super early in the morning or maybe late at night when they're about to close, there could be like 6 employees in the store, but only 1 register open. And then there's a line of people. That kind of reminds me of the whole bank situation. But more to the point of this video, does Sabrina have the right to be mad over her job? Now, she was upset when she got home in the last episode, episode 2, because she got home, took off her shoes, and was glaring. I don't know if that was directed at Andi or just the fact that she's upset over the whole situation about Gary, because believe it or not, Sabrina really has no one to be mad at but herself. Because here's the thing. she didn't do proper bank procedure protocol. Now, it would have been completely different if she had done everything she was supposed to do as an employee. But then the transfer was approved because, again, she did everything she needed to do. And then the Fed still wanted to talk with her, and then her job would be compromised. Then she has the right to be upset because it's like, look, I did everything I was supposed to do as an employee. I approved the transfer. But at the end of the day, look at this. I ended up getting sent home because here's my guess. I don't fully know the proper procedure, but based on what the boss was saying, because the person's ID, all the necessary ID and qualifications weren't, I guess you could say reviewed before being approved by Sabrina. I think what her boss was saying was because Sabrina kind of blindedly, blindedly, I don't even know if that's a word. She slacked off and approved the transfer because it turns out, oh, that's your friend. This may compromise Sabrina because maybe it looks a little sketchy on her. It's like, oh, so your friend Andy's involved in this money laundering thing. Her friend works at a bank, and then you approve the transfer, and then that led to, A, B, and C. Yeah, now it makes Sabrina look bad, and then of course it adds a negative light on the bank itself, compromising their reputation. So yeah, if that's the case, Sabrina, you did this to yourself. So again, if she had done the proper protocol, then maybe the FBI could have traced that. Oh, wait, we got all the IDs on file. We can clear Sabrina because, again, she did everything she was supposed to do in terms of protocol. And then as a result, yeah, the FBI will check the bank out. But if everything clears in terms of the bank protocol, then the bank will be, free to go. But since Sabrina didn't do what she was supposed to do, now she's upset. So that leads into the trailer where she tells Andi how she might think that Gary's being set up. It makes sense because with Sabrina being involved in this, it isn't just about helping Andi, because obviously she couldn't care less about Gary. But since her job's on the line, it makes sense that she would do what she needs to do to try to clear her name and potentially Andi's as well. And if she sees that a couple things don't add up, then she'll be like, you know what? Gary is innocent. Maybe Jasmine and Morris did set him up. But then again, even if it turns out Gary is innocent, that doesn't excuse Sabrina from doing what she did. So she might still be reprimanded. I don't know. Like imagine Maurice going back to work and it's like, where that bitch at? Oh, see, my first day back and she ain't here to welcome me. And I can imagine, Maurice and the boss talking about it. And then like, $14 million? Maurice is a trip. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Does Sabrina have the right to be mad at Andi or Gary? Or did she just do this to her own damn self? And with that being said, I'm not asking for $14 million, but if you'd like to donate to the channel at all, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.